And we're back, bitches! Welcome back to Safe Space with Kira Graves. I am your host, Kira Graves, and this is season 2 of Safe Space. Even though, I haven't really been doing that. I've just been saying, every time I come back from a hiatus, it's another season. But this time for real, because I am in a fully new house. I moved. We don't have air conditioning currently in our apartment, and it's 30 degrees Celsius almost. And I was gonna get all ready and put makeup on and shit for you guys today, but then I realized I'm just gonna sweat it all off. So this is what you're getting today. I am here, and that's the most important thing. I hope you all are doing so well after that little break. I'm here to talk about body image and body image healing today. I talk about this a lot, on my Instagram mainly, and also on my TikTok. And if you want to go follow that, the links are in the description. But I want to go more in depth today because I feel like you can't always get enough context on short videos, short form content. So that's why I think podcasts and YouTube videos are super important still to do, to just create this safe space, talk about shit that is sometimes hard to talk about. So for context, I was born in 1999. So I grew up in the early 2000s where heroin chic and model chic was the ideal body standard. I've never had that body. My whole family, we don't have that type of body. Growing up, I didn't realize that, those types of bodies aren't actually achievable for most people. If you have the body type, if you have the genetics, then yes, it probably is achievable. But with me, it just never was. And I was always, shorter, more muscular, more junk in the trunk, as they would say. And I always hated that because I thought that it wasn't pretty. And I also simultaneously got fetishized for my ass. Imagine a 12-year-old girl, so innocent, doesn't even say a curse word. And grown men are fetishizing my ass. Grown men are yelling out their trucks to me on the sidewalk, saying, "Dead ass." Anyway, I kind of just trauma dumped. I always accidentally trauma dump on you guys. Well, it's not accidentally. This is a safe space. Okay. Anyways, long story short, I grew up hating my body. I also was a competitive dancer, so that just adds to the trauma because, constantly looking in the mirror at myself and criticizing every little part of my body as a dancer does, it does something to you. It really does. It makes a deep wound because you develop this unhealthy relationship with the mirror. So I struggle with a lot of body dysmorphia, which basically means you see a distorted version of yourself in the mirror. And I know I've talked about this a lot before, but I still struggle with it. I really do. I still have a hard time looking in the mirror at myself. Cameras are different though. Filming myself is different. I don't know why that is. I also grew up in a model family. So I grew up modeling. My mom owned a modeling agency, and I also grew up acting. So the emphasis was very much on my appearance and, your worth equals your appearance. Your appearance equals your worth. And if your appearance doesn't match up to, perfection or whatever society thinks perfection is, then you're basically a worthless piece of shit. And you can't make money in your field. So not to make it all about me, because I want to help you guys in this episode, but I guess I also want to give a little bit of context about where I'm coming from. I got really, really into fitness and eating healthy when I was young, which is not a bad thing. My mom also, God bless her, was very good at teaching her kids how to eat healthy, which is a really, really good thing in the long run. And I'm really grateful that she did that. But I almost started to get obsessive over it. I started restricting my food intake. And when I felt like maybe my body wasn't up to the beauty standards, I would restrict my food. And or start exercising obsessively. This might sound familiar to you. I think this is a really common, unfortunately, a really common pattern that especially young women go through. Even teenagers now. Like, if you're a teenager right now and you're watching this, girl, I'm here for you, because I feel like with the presence of social media has made things even harder to love our bodies. Instagram only became like a big thing when I was, I think, in grade 8 or grade 9. But like with those of you who have grown up with Instagram, like I can't even imagine. I just empathize with you guys so much because, you know how it is. I don't even need to explain that because y'all know. I would say over the past maybe 2 years, I've started to make it a conscious effort to heal my body image because I was just like, I just simply could not go on longer with the hatred towards my body. It didn't feel like me. It didn't feel right. It didn't feel like it came from me. So I started to really analyze my thoughts and my, patterns of thinking and my behaviors. Also, side note, this was like during the time when I realized I was non-binary. And I actually was really confused about my gender identity because I felt so detached from being a woman that it just didn't seem right to me. Like being a woman didn't seem right to me because I've been so, I guess, like society has made me hate it. That's a kind of another story, and like I can go more into my gender journey in another episode, but anyways, this was around the same time that I started to face my own body dysmorphia, disordered eating habits, and such. Was around the time when I realized I was non-binary. And for the past 2 years, I've been slowly making little adjustments in my life that, it's been really gradual, but I've come to a place where I have actually let myself gain the weight that I never allowed myself to. I've always been really, really restrictive of my body and trying to control it. But I've actually let go of controlling it recently. And yes, I've gained some weight. And yes, I'm hot. So, but that hasn't come easily. Like me thinking I'm hot has not come easily. Long story short, I'm going to share with you the little, tips and tricks and adjustments that I made in my life that have helped me view my body in a healthier way. I did touch on a few of these points in a YouTube video that I posted, how to stop hating your body. I'm pretty sure that's what it was called. I'll link it below. If you're watching this on YouTube, you can just, check it out right after. But I'm going to elaborate more on that. I have a long ass list. So get ready, buckle up. Number 1, I started eating whatever the fuck I want. Because I restricted my eating for so long, I cut out a lot of things that are so yummy and that I enjoy like to this day, including like chips. And like I wouldn't allow myself to have like too much bread or ice cream, sweets, dairy. That was another thing though. Dairy, I actually had a lactose intolerance that I healed through healing my body image. That again could be another episode. Like I could talk about that in another episode, but I actually can tolerate dairy now. Like my body does not get upset at dairy. And I think that's just because I don't demonize food anymore. I realize that there's some foods that are more nutritious than others. But, food is amazing. If you have access to food, you're privileged. I switched my perspective to just being very grateful for food and, having the financial capability to buy as much food as I fucking want. That's fucking amazing. Making that little shift. I actually saw this post on Instagram today and it said, anxiety and gratitude cannot coexist. So I guess in a way I switched viewing food as being grateful for it versus getting anxiety about it and being like, if I eat this food, am I going to gain like 20 pounds? Just an example. The next thing I did was I actually took a long break from working out because working out was just too triggering for me. Any sort of workout, like I would, go back into a spiral. So I actually had a period of time where I stopped working out, obviously still went on walks. I was still moving my body, but not doing those really harsh exercise regimens that I used to do. And that was really helpful because I was able to reframe my relationship with exercise and start to enjoy it more, or just choose exercises that I enjoyed more. So now, for example, I do a lot of yoga. I do a lot of walking, biking. Spin class was like kind of an introduction back into working out that was like fun for me. And I didn't feel like I needed to obsessively go to spin class. I felt like, you know what, like a couple times a week, that's perfect. Even once a week, even once every 2 weeks, perfect. Because it was fun and it made me feel good afterwards. I changed the intention behind why I wanted to exercise. So before it was to control my body because I hated the way I looked. And now it is to feel good on the inside. And once you make internal changes, those internal changes reflect on the outside as well. This is a huge one. I stopped body checking in the mirror. So, you know, like I said, as a dancer, I would constantly be body checking myself in the mirror, turning to the side, checking to see how big my belly was, making sure that it wasn't too big, because if it got too big, oh my God, oh no, like the world would just be crashing down on me. I kind of avoided the mirror for a long time. Still kind of do. I don't look in it for too long because then it just, my perception starts to warp and distort. But just like actually noticing that I was body checking, because that was the big thing, was even noticing that I was doing it, because I didn't even know I was doing it. It was such an automatic thing that I would do. Like I would wash my hands maybe, or even when I get ready in the morning, I put on my shirt or I put on my bra, turn to the side in the mirror, check on my lower belly, see how it's doing. Make sure it's not getting out of hand. You know what I mean? I said used air quotes when I said that, by the way. Another perspective shift, I started focusing on the ways that my body was helping me to survive and live on this planet, and not so much about how it looks. That's just a shift that came along with time. But realizing that also that our bodies are extremely, extremely intelligent. I believe they have divine wisdom within them. I have actually felt a lot more whole as I've been able to tap into my inner body, what it feels like. Not so much what it looks like, but what it feels like. And listening in on the tiny little, messages and cues it has for me throughout the day. Because our bodies are always communicating with us. Whether you feel it or not, a lot of people are disconnected from their bodies, and you don't even know you're disconnected from it. I also started doing a lot of somatic practices. Somatic is kind of like body work. So that could mean yoga, that was, breath work, various things that I was able to, upon reflection, feel my inner body and get in touch with my body and its cues and its messages for me and its wisdom. Next, I removed any toxic body image accounts on my Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, anywhere. Any account or person that was triggering me, that was giving off not the healthiest view of body image, I would just cut them off. Cut them the fuck off. Delete. Thank you. Bye. Boy, bye. Bye, bye. Boy, bye. It's over. It's over. Oh, yeah. Bye, bye. I'm taking what's mine. Bye, bye. It's over. It's over with toxic beauty standards. This also included people, physical people in my life who had a habit of talking about their bodies in a negative way. I would just stop engaging with them. I would stop engaging in that type of conversation whatsoever. Stop engaging. Because once you stop engaging, you're telling the universe and you're telling yourself, no more of this. No more of this. And you don't even have to argue with them when they start talking about their own bodies in a certain way. You can just listen and notice and be like, wow, I don't subscribe to that anymore. I'm actually very picky with who I hang out with, because I know that whoever I hang out with has a huge impact on my own well-being. You can also have people who encourage you and keep you accountable for your healing journey. So I have an accountability buddy, and that's my wife. They always check in with me to make sure I'm eating lunch, because that's the thing I used to skip a lot was lunch. If they noticed that I was replacing my lunch with a coffee, they would be like, I will make you lunch. Like, let me just make you lunch so you have something. Even if it's a salad, even if it's, a snack, whatever you can manage, I will help you. And yeah, they're really good with that. So I recommend just surrounding yourself with people who support you on this journey. No scale. Throw out that scale. No more weighing myself. I stopped weighing myself. I actually don't own a scale. I used to have a scale when I lived with my mom, but it was my mom's scale. Once I stopped living with her, I did not weigh myself anymore because it was just, I feel like that goes without saying, but the scale, it doesn't mean shit about you. It really doesn't. Another thing I stopped doing was wearing super tight clothing, like high-waisted jeans from the 80s. Hell no. That shit literally would give me stomach pains for the rest of the day. I stopped making my body uncomfortable with clothing, and I started wearing a lot looser clothing, comfier clothing. I didn't care as much how I looked. I don't know. That also comes with detaching from what your ego wants, and also realizing your body is not you. Your body is your vessel, but your body is not you. You are the spirit that's animating your body. I know it's weird to think about, but however your body looks, it has no reflection on your worth as a human being. Next, I donated any clothes that I was keeping just in case I lost weight and could fit in them again. That is a big no-no, because that is just every time you look at that article of clothing and you wish you could fit into it, you're gonna, blame your body for not fitting into the clothing. Whereas clothing should be fitting you, not you into clothing. Buy some new shorts. And if you don't have the, financial capability, thrift them. Goodwill. If your summer shorts from last year don't fit you, donate them. Go get another pair from Goodwill for $4. Another thing I always keep in mind is I try not to compare my body now, my 25-year-old body now, to my teenager body, because these are very drastic ages. Our bodies change so much from the time that we're teenagers into our 20s, especially for females and AFAB folks. So I try not to compare my adult female body to my practically child body, because you just can't. You literally can't. It's like comparing your body to a 6-year-old. You can't. Another thing I started doing is making body image content. This is not only has this helped so many people, so many of you guys, but the way it's helped me is just insane. I do it mainly for myself, because every time I go on there and I put my body online shamelessly, showing my rolls and my fat pouches and all that stuff, it kills my ego in a good way. I'm this is me, love it or leave it. Also, recording myself for some reason makes me realize oh, I actually look really good and I don't look as weird as I think I do in the mirror. So anyways, body image content has really helped me. And you know what? If you feel called to also make body image content, go nuts, because I truly think that we just need more awareness, more and more and more. Anyone who can spread the awareness in their community, do it. There's so many other body image and body acceptance creators on TikTok and stuff. And I've been really inspired by Spencer Barbosa, who, I actually knew from a long time ago. And for a while I was she's already making the content, or so-and-so is already making the content. So I don't need to. But honestly, it's there's no gatekeeping in the body image, body acceptance community, because everyone's body is so different. And I feel the more different body types we see, the better. Our field of vision just gets diversified and, expands. And we don't think that there's only one way to be and only one way to be beautiful. We're all beautiful. We would not be here if we weren't beautiful, because God only makes perfect creatures. And if you just got triggered when I said God, replace it with the universe, okay? Next, this is probably a really long episode, but I'm just gonna keep going because you know what? We're back, bitches. Okay, I stopped ignoring my hunger cues. That was a big one. And I think for some people too, like they've ignored it for so long that they can't really recognize it anymore. So I think just getting back in touch with your body's cues is super, super important. Also, the feeling of being hungry is triggering for me. This is, for a multitude of reasons and other reasons that I won't get into now. But being hungry is really triggering. So I make sure I always have like snacks on me. And they don't have to be like, chips or whatever, but even like a healthy snack like nuts or, freeze-dried fruits. Mwah. You can get that at the dollar store. Like freeze-dried strawberries are fucking delicious. And apparently it still maintains like all the nutritional value in it, but it's just like a little cracker. It's a strawberry cracker. It's amazing. Anyways, I also prioritize tasty treats. So, I allow myself to have that dessert that I want. I allow myself to eat that ice cream or that piece of cake or, that cookie, whatever it is. I don't deny myself that anymore. And I do think that there will be a time when it'll balance out, when I'll maybe, I feel like, when you're in a really restrictive pattern and then you go back into eating something or introducing something back into your life, you might really lean into it. So long story short, I've been eating a lot of junk food. And it's honestly, I'm not even mad about it. I'm not shaming myself for it, because when our bodies are lacking something or when our bodies like are not allowed something, it craves it. And there has to be a period of time where your body's balancing itself back out. So anyways, not promoting like unhealthy eating, but honestly, unhealthy eating has helped me gain a better body image. So I don't care what y'all do, but that's just what I'm doing and it's helping. And I'm sure there'll be a period of time where I kind of balance everything back out, but now is the time for eating dessert, eating lots of dessert. And I will never not eat dessert. I think I'll always have dessert. I think we should all have dessert. Anyways, I'm saying dessert a lot. And now I'm questioning, like, was that actually like my ED habits talking? Being like, oh, like you're eating too many like desserts. You know what I mean? Like sometimes I catch myself still falling back into it when I don't even notice it. So maybe I was just accidentally shaming myself for eating dessert. You know what? It's okay. My partner is the first person to be like, eat that dessert, eat that cake, eat that ice cream, eat whatever the fuck you want. Because life is honestly too short. And I think the more we have respect for our bodies, we will start to make more conscious choices. And I think that there should be a level of trust in and a level of like divine guidance. So like after a while, I think spirit will just lead us to eating nutritious foods because we love ourselves so much. And as our self-love grows, we will also be more conscious of what we put in our bodies. Evidence of that in my life recently is I bought a juicer and I am now, having freshly squeezed juices with my breakfast. And like even just that little introduction is like a little bit of self-love. Like me buying that juicer, me choosing to spend money on something, investing in my health is self-love. So yes, I let myself eat dessert, but yes, I also make myself bomb-ass, fresh squeezed, healthy-ass, nutritious-ass juices. It's all about balance, and I'm not going to sit here and tell you what to eat. I really don't want to do that. I don't want to be another person doing that because there's too many people doing that. Learn to get in touch with what your body wants because we all react differently to different foods as well. And the only person that should ever be telling us what to eat is our own inner guidance. That inner guidance, trust it. Because it knows what's best for you. And that inner guidance is connected to the consciousness of all life forms on this planet. Not to get all like woo-woo on you, but it's safe space. And this is a spiritual podcast. So I'm going to be talking spiritual. And if you don't like that, then please see your way out. Anyways, the consciousness that created us and that created everything on this planet, it never makes mistakes. It loves all of its creations. It creates with intention, with love, with beauty, with creativity, with abundance. And if we know that this abundance exists in the universe, then we also know that this abundance and this wisdom exists in us too, because we are a part of it all. Everything is so connected. And so this whole journey has just allowed me to surrender to what my inner guidance is leading me to do to heal. My intention at the beginning was to heal my body image and to love myself and not heal myself from a place of thinking that I'm broken, but returning myself back to wholeness, bringing up all of those darkened parts of me and collecting it and owning it, owning all the parts of me, owning even the parts of me that might have body image issues, and just be like, you know what? It's fucking okay. It's fucking valid. Probably 90, this is like not a real statistic, but probably like 98% of us on this planet have some sort of internalized body image issue. Men, women, non-binary, everyone. Whether you choose to admit it or not. I think this world, this society, for some reason has been really intent on bringing us humans down. So it's our turn to rise up, reclaim our own personal power, and say, you know what? I'm not subscribing to this bullshit anymore. I am not listening to these people, these companies, these corporations who are telling me who and what I am and who I should be. It's my turn to choose who the fuck I am and how I want to live. And we all deserve to be fucking happy and love our bodies. That is our birthright. If that is just reason enough to be like, I don't want anyone telling me what to do, to choose to practice more self-love, then there we go. I hope to add to this movement. I'm really proud of you. I'm really, really, really fucking proud of you for getting this far, for choosing to click on this video, for choosing to maybe get a little bit of insight, a little bit of information that might tip you off to a new idea, to helping yourself. You are gosh darn beautiful. And I know you might be thinking, well, Kira, you don't know what I look like. Like, I know what you truly are, and that is magic. So I'm right. No, I'm kidding. I really hope that this episode helped you. If you're watching this on YouTube, please comment down below. Let me know what you thought of this first episode. Let me know what else you want to see in the new season of Safe Space. I am going to be delving a lot deeper into my healing journey because you know what? It hasn't stopped. I'm still healing. I thought that it was going to stop or, slow down. Maybe it's slowed down, but no, it's still happening. As long as I'm on this healing journey, I will be sitting here in this goddamn chair talking about my shit, possibly putting way too much of my personal information online. But that is for the greater good, okay? I think someone's got to do it, and it's going to be me because I just don't care anymore. We need to share our experiences because that's how we can all feel like connected and like we're not alone and like we actually belong on this earth, which you do. I'm rambling. I hope you have a wonderful day, and I'm proud of you. I really am. I'll see you next time. Take care of yourself. Mwah.